Here we go!
We're feeling very gay because it's almost time to play. Grab your favorite chair with the Lucky Pierres. Yeah!
What's up, guys? We got another episode for you tonight. The Lucky Pierre's here. We got a classic for you. Full Metal Jacket. All right, guys. Full Metal Jacket. Stanley Kubrick. What year? I think 1980, I want to say.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
It's a wild movie.
Yeah, it's a
roller coaster.
classic of sorts.
Classic war movie, but it's not like a war movie like many
It's not your
others.
typical war movie.
It's
No,
not.
It's very Stanley Kubrick-y.
Yep. And kind of two separate movies, huh?
Yes.
Actually, when I was younger and I first seen it, I thought it was two different movies. I really did.
Yeah. Because you got the boot camp part for the first like 45,
And
50
then there's
minutes.
a complete resolution, and it just jumps to a completely different movie.
Yep. And then there's the war
That's
part.
the biggest complaint I've seen about this movie is people think the first half is like perfection, and then the second half really loses it, which I don't agree with.
No, I think the second
first
half
half
is
is
still
better,
great.
in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
But I feel like it's
The second half is still awesome too. It's got
First half's just like iconic because there's so many lines. and
there's just so much
roles
stuff
and
that even if you haven't seen it, you would remember like, hey, where do I know this from? Where have I heard this?
It's
Like,
got it's got a lot of iconic lines and characters.
There's a
and-
lot of things use sound clips from it.
Yep.
Like the Me So Horny from Two Live Crew is from this movie.
Yeah. It's just more like personal and intimate. I think the first portion, and then the whole war part, and
Yeah, I
people
feel-
like that stuff.
I feel
there's
like
not many things like the first part.
I feel like we
a
might
lot of stuff like
There's
that.
not that real anyway.
feel like we might
not
get-
that harsh.
deeper in this review than we have in most things so far.
You think so?
Possibly.
Maybe. We'll see, huh?
Are you hoping that we do because you're about to? Or?
No, I mean,
okay.
I just feel like because like the whole themes and like stuff that happens in the movie, I feel like brings up reactions.
Yeah,
It does.
it's dark.
What do you mean, like suicide? And,
Well, suicide, military, like all.
Bullying.
yep.
But so the very beginning, it starts off with them like getting their heads shaved for boot camp.
Which is perfect because we start with them. You know what I mean?
But-
They're starting. We're starting.
Everybody besides Vincent D'Onofrio looks so miserable getting their haircut.
Yeah, that's
and
what I
he's got
noticed.
like a weird smirk on his face getting his head shaved.
Yeah, I think that tells you that he's a bit touched, huh?
Are you trying to say a nice term for slow?
I don't think he's. He might be on the spectrum, but
He's definitely on the spectrum.
But he's just kind of like goofy.
Yeah,
He is.
doesn't-
I think from what I get from it,
He's
I-
going there kind of to have fun. He thinks it's gonna be more fun
Yeah.
than like
Yeah.
just getting assaulted.
Yeah, that's a good
Like he thought
point,
it was
yeah.
gonna be playing like cowboys and Indians.
Exactly.
that's a good
yeah.
point. Yeah, I didn't think of that. But,
But,
what I thought of that character though, I thought he was like had maybe a bad upbringing, and he's just going there because it's like the only option for him now. Well, I think a lot of those characters.
Oh
it is,
yeah, that
Usually
was
the military.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
But I feel like he might have really had a hard time keeping a straight face because some of the time it's like he's not acting; he just cannot keep a straight face.
Oh, that beginning was I was,
It was
dying.
so funny.
He like purses his lips.
Yeah,
But it's
that is funny looking.
It took
Man.
less than 3 minutes for the very
Aggressive.
open racism to start.
Yeah, aggressive racism.
Yeah, by Hartman.
And then
that dude is the
steer-
boot camp, the hard nosed,
the steers and
boot camp
queer speech.
sergeant.
I remember that from literally. Honestly, I have no idea how young I was when I first saw this movie because I've remembered that speech literally from childhood until adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know what that says about me or whoever let me watch this
He
movie.
has like 10 lines in that monologue that are just like so good.
Yeah.
So
Really-
violent, but so good. Like,
So good. Yep. I didn't. What did he say?
I know they stack shit that high.
Yeah. How tall are you? I didn't know they stacked shit. Yeah, that's great. But yeah, that blatant racism and
Then I was like,
homophobia, that
after
wouldn't
the-
fly today, huh?
No. Oh, well, I mean,
I don't know.
Pretty
I
sure
haven't been in the
it still
military,
does, but
Not on film. It wouldn't.
No.
No.
but then right after the
No, I don't. No. No way.
I mean, Tarantino uses the N word like water. Like
yeah, he does.
That's true.
It's a movie, so like they don't.
Yeah,
care.
they can.
Like, that whole DiCaprio and Django.
But then right
like,
after my
breaking
note
the skull.
about D'Onofrio
Yeah.
not being able to keep a straight face, I just wrote, the military is fucked already. Like, in the first 10, 15 minutes, you're like, wow, the military is fucked up.
If this is really how it is, yeah.
I mean, but that was my whole point, because, like, so many people are like, oh my God, like, this is what it was like. This is what boot camp's like. This is what, like, the military's like.
I think that's an extreme case.
But I don't think it is, because I feel like this is very relatable, and that's why it makes so many people, like, have a visceral reaction to it.
I find it hard to believe that drill instructor is like your average drill instructor in
Not nowadays.
Not now,
I'm saying
but
for
then.
Vietnam, like
yeah,
the people
do
that
you
watch
think
this-
that intense though?
Yes.
I think they were.
That intense.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, how can anybody that was like, you know what, that's relatable, that's what my experience was, how can they be pro-military if that's what they had to endure?
But
Like,
that's
it
the
blows
whole,
my mind.
That's the point of it, though. It is bad for you in some capacity, but there's also a good to it. You know, like it toughens you the hell up, and it just
I was gonna say I see both sides.
Yeah, I
he's
see
getting
both-
ready for Vietnam War, like,
which is the worst of the. It's
you
hell.
gotta be
That's
like
hell.
you gotta be like mentally a rock.
Unbreakable.
Yeah.
Unbreakable.
Oh, I mean, I get it, but still.
So he has to trash people, and like if they're weak, they got to be weeded out, or else they're.
And
but
he-
then,
and
but
he
they
was,
literally
yeah,
didn't
was-
weed anybody.
Yeah, they did. He killed himself. I mean, they
Yeah, but they didn't
Well,
weed
that
him
wasn't
out.
his plan,
That was
but-
after.
No.
That was
and
after
he
was
killed
like,
him, the sergeant.
Well, that was after he was like, you know what? We found something you're good at. You're a good soldier now. And then he iced himself.
Yeah, because he could snipe.
Yeah,
he was
a good shooter.
Yeah, but like, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, our buddy Travis. He's like that. He's like a rock. You know what I mean? He would like endure that. You know what I mean? Like he's a military guy, army guy. You know, so it takes a special like individual.
Well, he didn't like really break until the whole camp turned on him too.
With
Yeah,
that- yeah.
with the
then-
soap and all
yeah, and
that.
then he's
Like, I
like,
knew the soap part was coming. Like, I knew it happened. I know it was there, but still, it's brutal and fucked.
Oh yeah, it is very rough.
bullying, and he kills himself because he's bullied. You know,
Well, he just kept messing up, and then his drill sergeant like kept punishing the other people now because he wasn't
'Cause
learning.
he
so
was-
he's like, well, I'm just gonna punish them then.
Yeah.
Since
and
you're
then
not
they
getting it.
punished him in
Yeah,
return.
yeah,
And then
Which is that I know for a fact stuff like that happens.
Yeah, it
I
definitely
know
happened.
somebody who got sent home because a similar thing happened to them and they couldn't handle it. So like they got discharged and sent home because they were like, "Oh, you have like mental instability," because a similar thing happened, like where he was beaten in the barracks after dark
yeah,
and then snapped, and they were like, "Oh, you got to go home."
yeah, you can't hang here. It's like
It's just so tough and crazy to watch, like the way Kubrick shoots it and the sound and the way he portrays him snapping is so insane. Like, and Vincent is so freaking good in that.
he is, man.
He's honestly,
crazy good.
That's why I'm kind of upset he wasn't in the second half, because he was so good.
So good, yeah.
But
Man.
then when they're in boot camp, it was pretty weird of him to set their goals at Charles Whitman and Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah, yeah.
Both
Killers of-
assassins
Yeah.
Yeah.
who like were not military sanctioned. One killed a president and the other one just killed innocent bystanders
Random
from a
people.
tower.
Yeah.
That's so
And
crazy.
he was like, "How far away was he?" "I'm gonna teach you to do that." And I was like, "That's an odd goal to set for yourself."
yeah. How about that Kubrick trademark is that blank stare with the slow push in when Pyle's staring blankly? They did that in The Shining too. I think they might have done that in some other Kubrick stuff, but that's always a trademark.
When you only see the white of his eyes and you don't even see his pupils. He's just
Yeah.
like completely snapped. Like,
That's crazy.
it's so creepy.
And the iconic "I am in a world of shit"
Yeah.
speech right before he shoots himself and the drill sergeant.
Drill sergeant doesn't even let up when he's got a gun pointed at him.
Yeah.
He still goes at him. Like,
He does.
you had it coming at that point.
It's almost like he's playing a role like in the actual military, and he's like so method that he can't. He's got one purpose.
He has to toughen him up.
He has to toughen him up. Yeah, he can't.
But at that point, you might be like, hey, please don't shoot me. Like,
yeah, no.
not call him a fat slob.
That tells you how like tough that dude is, though. You know what I mean? That just reinforces how tough that dude is. He will not back down from from even death. You know what I mean? But that bathroom scene, it's not a good feel good scene, is it?
It's an awesome
When
scene.
he blows his brains out? No, not very feel good at all.
No.
And then I was like, they really messed him up. And then I was like, what a jump to make. Like, it just cuts, and then it's like, hey, good morning, Vietnam. And the guy's like strolling, like having a blast.
Yeah.
It is wild.
Which is super funny, too, because, like, I feel like that's a part of that people don't realize. Like, when you're in war, like, there's a lot of downtime, and people are legit just living life, like, having fun and bullshitting with the guys, like, having a blast. Like, most of the second half is, like, them having fun and getting along.
Mm-hmm.
And then something happened, like, then at a drop of a dime, like, the shit hits the fan.
And then it's just hell around them. Yeah.
But then, then the Me So Horny sound clip comes in.
But what do you guys take away from that the entire boot camp portion? You know what I mean? Like everyone, like
nobody should do that. Nobody should deal with that.
No, I'm saying like, what does it mean though? Like everyone has their limits. You know, like
I mean, I think it.
In a nutshell, what is it? You know,
I think he was just trying to portray like what they go through.
That and not everybody's is mentally tough enough to deal with that.
Out for that.
Like
most people aren't. Like most.
Your average person can't deal with that.
Well, like most normal like people cannot handle that. It's a very abnormal circumstance and an abnormal person that can thrive in that environment.
In
you
that
shouldn't
pressure,
have to deal
pressure
with that.
cooker.
They pushed him too much. Like,
and he cracked.
He had help from Joker for a while.
He
was
did.
helping
Joker
him
was his friend until he beat him with.
Until he started punching them, and he's like, "Well,
and Joker
I can't side with anymore because
Joker had to do the soap thing because they were saying you got to do it."
But
Yeah.
he didn't. He went a little harder than he had
did
to.
like
He
5 times.
hesitated.
Why? Yeah, like
And then he was like, "Oh, let's fucking
I think
do
it was
this."
it was frustration. 'Cause
Yeah.
he tried so much to help him, and he's still effed up. Like,
yeah, that's why he did it.
Yeah.
yeah. Wow.
he spent all his time, and he still brought a donut back to the mess hall, and he's like, "You know what? F you." Like,
Yeah,
Then-
got to. But he did. You could still see the regret. There were so many mixed emotions in
Oh,
his
yeah.
face. You know what I mean? He didn't want
because
to.
he knows
He's a
Gomer
simple-
Pyle
like a
can't help it.
simpleton.
He can't help it. Like,
Can't.
He tried.
How about the guy on the helicopter turret? Guy is an absolute maniac, just
Yeah.
slaughtering innocent lives.
That was a tough scene.
That guy is the guy that like the war is meant for. That guy like thrives in that environment.
But he wasn't shooting soldiers. He was shooting women and
innocent
civilians.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that guy is a danger in the real world. But you put him in that
100%.
in that scenario, and he actually works.
Yeah, but I feel like he's still a danger because
He's still a danger.
He's still a danger. He's not perfect, but like he's just a craized madman. I don't know
Correct,
what.
but I mean, to win a war, you don't have to kill women and children. You're
No,
just
you
supposed
don't.
to kill the opposing soldiers. That's
Yeah.
the whole point.
I don't know. I think that guy thrives like mentally
yeah,
in
they
that
don't-
scenario.
well, 'cause
He gives him. He can do whatever he wants. I mean,
Yeah, they're programmed to basically believe like the Viet Cong aren't people.
they're all bad. Every one of them. They're all
But then
Vietnam people.
even
are
before
bad.
that
Vietnamese
scene-
are bad.
What about when that guy, like the younger dude on the motorbike, steals his camera, and then immediately steals the camera, tosses it to the other guy, and then starts doing karate?
The karate moves.
Yeah, that guy's great.
And then they just let him go.
Joker does it back.
just he, like steals it and then just yeah.
I think they showed all sides of the spectrum of soldier. Like you got Vincent, who's not meant for it, like broke him, and then you got Joker, who's in between, and then that dude who that's what they want, but that's a terrible person.
That's a madman.
Yeah.
That's an absolute psychopath.
That's what they're teaching him to
But
do.
then
though.
they're in Vietnam and he's afraid of his friend's mom. He's like, I don't know what his mom will do to me when we get back home.
Yeah, that's right. But it's military photographer. How insane of a job is that? Because you
They were
can't
for like the military newspaper.
you can't defend yourself. You're in there.
They could.
They don't have any weapons, do they?
Yeah, they do.
Oh,
they
do they?
do, and they
Oh.
kind of went there after. Some
well,
of them did.
it seemed like he was in the actual.
Well, that dude was, yeah.
Yeah,
He was filming him as they were hiding.
Yeah, but then
That's so
remember,
crazy.
because then that guy, the photographer, because he's just like the reporter. The guy with him is a photographer, and then like slowly the photographer's like, yeah, like starts to be like a crazed gunman.
Yeah.
Because then he like when he kills,
I forget his name.
He
Yeah.
like defends somebody and like shoots one of them, and you just see it the snap, and he's like, oh, I like this. And then the rest of the time he's just like holding his gun like,
Yeah, he's changing in front of our eyes. Man, but
The score and the soundtrack are both excellent.
Yeah.
awesome. Everything's so beautifully shot. Kubrick is a master with the camera.
that's what-
you cannot deny that.
The end
he's
of
awesome.
my notes was just Kubrick was a true master of his craft.
He was, man. Like everything, shots are so like perfectly composed and like you
Everything
see
flows, even when it's like
you see
jarring, it still flows.
you
well.
see the most in every single frame with like very little movement. You know, like it's very stable a lot of the shots, but yet there's a lot going on.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Back and in the foreground, the background, lot going
Truly
on.
shows you how dark war is, like especially that war when like that little girl is the soldier.
Well, yeah. Then
and
they
they kill her, and they're like, Joker's like,
he's just hanging out with that dead Viet Cong soldier.
yeah,
He's just like, oh yeah, he moves the head and it moves the hat and it's just a dead
corpse.
And he's like, yeah, this is our guy. And I was like,
but they thought that sniper was gonna be like the baddest person ever, and it's
it's
like
a little
It's
girl.
just a young woman. Yeah,
Joker's like, Jesus, like this is what we're fighting. It's like,
so crazy. And you know she was just forced into that too. She hated
like
it.
bred for war,
Yeah,
though.
she was like she hated it too. She didn't like thrive. I mean,
she probably hated Americans because that's what they were taught.
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
but then how do they still like rely on each other in like life or death situations with the blatant like racism and everything? Like he straight up to their face
I know. I thought that
calls
was
them
wild.
the N-word.
I know.
And then when they start a gunfight, he's like, this is my boy. And it's like, you just literally told him to hang from a tree and now you're saving his life.
Yeah, you
What is
have to rely
happening?
on him though. Like,
Crazy,
Like
man.
it's just absurd.
Some crazy dynamics in those
Yeah, and
situations.
then Animal sucks. That's
Animal,
that
which-
dude,
which
the one
one?
who tells him to hang from a tree and
Oh yeah.
Doesn't
is
listen to the
hanging
commander?
hanging out with the dead Vietnamese
Oh
soldier.
yeah, yeah.
And like, but it's super realistic, accurate character,
Yeah.
but he sucks so bad.
Was he the jacked one with like the big
Yeah.
gun? Yeah. Was he that one? Yeah.
Yeah, and then refused to like when he said retreat, he refused.
refused. He just rushed towards.
Yeah.
Yep. That guy's
he was going to save
idiot.
his dudes though. So.
He was. He had a purpose.
I love when like the guy brings up the hooker and like they're asking which one. He's like, no black guy, too big.
That's
And then he just-
hilarious.
Mushu.
Then he just pulls it out.
Yeah. He's like, no, it's not too big. It's fine.
How crazy is it though? Another thing, how crazy is it that they used to film the war? Is that not just a mind-blowing thing? Like hell on earth, and there's
Well,
someone
'cause,
with a camera filming it.
Because
Do they not still?
That, yeah, you're right. I think they still do. I mean, that's just so crazy to me.
because they try to
It's like the worst of humanity, and you're filming it.
but they try to turn like
The narrative?
yeah, they try to control like this is like, oh, look at the good we're doing. Like
Yep.
we took down the enemy, like this happened. Just like the whole time when he's telling them what to write
Yeah,
and he's like, "Oh, well, that didn't happen." And he goes, "Well, we need to say it happened."
yeah.
Like they're trying to control and like
I bet you the same thing happens
control
on the
morale.
opposing side.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
they-
like
they want people to support the war.
yeah.
They don't want to hate the soldiers when they come back.
that's why he was
That's
like,
true,
he
yeah.
was like, just say we killed a bunch of opposing soldiers. And they're like, well, all the people that were in that building were children, women, and children. He's like, yeah, don't put that.
Just put an officer. We killed an officer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so
He's
crazy.
like, they
man.
love when that happens. They,
They
love
spin
it.
the narrative. They spin the narrative
It's
to
just
the
like, they
positive
they
light.
love when we kill officers. Put that in the story.
All right. Anything else you guys want to add? You want to get to ratings?
Sure. Actually, when I thought we were going to hang out, I was wearing a Full Metal Jacket long sleeve.
Really? Dang, you should have wore it.
It's now dirty because I wore it the other day.
Ah, it's all right. Dang, it's all right. You guys want to get to ratings?
Sure.
All right. What'd you guys give it?
9.5.
Same, 9.5.
I gave it a 9. Almost a perfect movie. Final verdict. See it ASAP. See it whenever. Skip it.
I mean, I definitely want to say see it ASAP, but there's a lot of people this is not for you. But then again, if it's not, you probably know that Kubrick movies are not for you.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to recommend A Clockwork Orange to some people.
Yeah.
This is
That's-
on that level, but just
think?
for different reasons.
I think it's more watchable than that.
Oh, for sure.
I think it is.
absolutely.
Yeah. It's still a rough watch, but it's so good
This is
in so many
easier-
ways.
And
Kubrick's movies are so like.
this is. I mean, this is
I don't know the
not
word.
as out
Polarizing?
there.
Yeah,
This
polarizing.
is not as out there as A Clockwork
No,
Orange.
yeah.
Like, it's much more relatable and understandable.
Right.
Whereas A Clockwork Orange, people are like, "What the fuck is this nonsense?"
polarizing and like you're either like you got to get in it to be like to enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like it gets you. It sucks you in. You know, like a lot.
You got to
of
be
them do.
invested.
You gotta be
It's
invested.
like, if you just catch it like halfway through A Clockwork Orange, you'd be like, what in the blue hell
I know.
am I watching?
Like a bag of wet mice.
So
Yeah.
what would you guys say? See it ASAP. See it whenever. Skip it.
I say
I'd
see it
still say
ASAP.
see it
It's-
See it
it's a
ASAP. You got to
classic,
see it ASAP.
legendary movie.
All right, guys. It's movie quote time. I got a movie quote for these guys, and they got to name the movie.
Babe 2, Pig in the City.
No. Here it is. All right. Oh, what a day. What a lovely day.
Mad Max.
Yes.
Fury Road.
I don't
Fury
even-
Road.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
I don't even have to think about it anymore. I just wait for a couple seconds and then Joe blurts out the correct answer.
Have you seen that though? You know that
Yeah.
one. Yeah, that's a great movie, but a nice one. And
was it? Who's
I'll probably get negative
accent
points
were
for
you
that.
doing?
Huh?
I said, whose accent were you doing there?
That was Timothy Holt.
Okay.
Yeah, you know the one with like the silver teeth, and he's like
Yeah.
all white. You know, he's like the
Oh,
crazy.
yeah, I can picture it.
The crazy one. Yeah,
Nailed it. He nailed it.
I almost did.
That was good.
Thank you. All right, guys, that's our review for Full Metal Jacket. Awesome movie, perfect movie. Go check it out. We love you. We'll see you soon. Thank you for watching. Boom.
That was a lot.